Hello everyone, it's Taylor, and today we're going to be filming the Harry Potter tag. Let's go ahead and jump right into the questions. What is your favorite Harry Potter book? My favorite Harry Potter book is The Half-Blood Prince, hands down. That book just has all the feels. We've got some Harry and Ginny things going on. We've got some Ron and Hermione things going on. It's just a lot to handle. Dumbledore, holy moly, the Dumbledore stuff, and then the whole thing with the Snape, and I don't want to spoil anything. You know what? I'm going to spoil it. If you haven't read Harry Potter, don't watch this. Go read the books, then come back and watch this because holy crap, when Dumbledore died, I vividly remember I was reading Half-Blood Prince in high school. I was still living at home. I was sharing a room with my stepsister, but she was down the hall with all of my brothers, so I'm alone in my room. It's probably like 2 in the morning and I'm reading, and I just bawled. I bawled my eyes out. But I read this line about him falling off the astronomy tower, and I'm just thinking, oh my God. Oh my God. I think I actually like jumped up from the bed and I was like, Dumbledore! So yes, I have some very vivid memories from reading The Half-Blood Prince, so I think that is why it's my favorite of all the books. What's your favorite Harry Potter movie? I'm gonna have to go with The Deathly Hallows Part 2 as my favorite movie because crap, it's just so good, so good. Everything that goes on, and just the final battle at Hogwarts is so epic, and you just really see for the first time what the stakes were in this war. I feel like a lot of the times this wizarding war was downplayed throughout the series, and you only really see the Order of the Phoenix trying to fight against it, so you don't understand the breadth of this psycho killer that's trying to raise up and take power in this community. And the final battle of Hogwarts and all the people who died and all the people who were injured, and just the ruining of this home that we've come to know for the entire series is it just, you feel it on such a level that especially with it being so visual in movie form, there's just nothing like it. What is your least favorite movie? The Order of the Phoenix. Obviously, Sirius. That's just heartbreaking. Losing Sirius was devastating for me and Harry both, obviously. But as far as like other things in that movie, I don't care for the Harry and Cho thing. I'm not about that life. I also, I don't like Umbridge, and I feel like obviously I understand why we were sort of taken back into this sort of denial of the fifth book. You know, at the end of Goblet of Fire, Voldemort has returned. He has manifested in a semi-human form again, and nobody wants to acknowledge that. So we go backward almost in the fifth book slash movie. We're talking about the movie here. And it's so frustrating to know that there are way more important things going on around them. And, you know, they're all just caught up in, you know, wizarding decrees by Professor Umbridge, who is a terrible character. Can't stand her. If you could remake any of the movies, which would you choose? Easily, I can say none of them. I do think that some of them are lacking on some information and maybe could have been expanded upon, but I get why you can't do that in only a 2-hour time frame. So if I set aside that gripe with some of the films, I genuinely think that they're amazing pieces of film. Like I love all of the movies, and while none of them is perfect, they're all so fantastic in their own way. So I wouldn't want to touch something that I have such nostalgia and love for. Not gonna do it. What parts of the books slash movies made you cry? I kind of have already mentioned some of the deaths here, so definitely the deaths. Sirius dying, Dumbledore dying. When Tonks and Lupin died, that was just, and then they had the baby Teddy, and that was too much. And when Fred died, no, I couldn't, I just, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. You know what? The other thing that always makes me emotional is when they're preparing for the final battle at Hogwarts. And there's nothing particularly sad about this, but again, I just feel like this is our home. Like, we have to protect this place that we've come to love so much. And there's this man who's trying to destroy everything that they've built. And so when Professor McGonagall does the something locomotus charm, and then these big stone like soldiers jump down off of the castle and they become actual soldiers, and she's like, you know, Hogwarts is threatened, do your duty to the school. And I'm just thinking like, yes, protect the school is everything. It gets me emotional. It's not like full on tears, but I'm just like, Hogwarts. If you could hook up with any Harry Potter character, who would it be? I don't know how we're defining hookup here, if we're talking about like a one-time hookup or like hook up and marry and be together forever, because like I'd be down for either. But Ron Weasley, I just always felt for Ron because, you know, being the best friend of the chosen one can't be easy. And obviously Ron has some pretty immature moments throughout the series. But again, think about it in his mindset and, you know, being what he felt as like sort of an unwanted child, of being just another boy because his parents wanted a girl, and then, you know, being the friend of the chosen one. So he's not quite ever brave enough or strong enough or good enough at magic, and it's just, I feel for him so much. And Rupert Grint plays that character so well, and he's just so handsome. So Ron Weasley. What would your Patronus be? My Patronus would undoubtedly be an owl. I've always loved owls. I have several. You can even see that guy right there. I have several owl statues around my house. So I love owls, and they're cool, and they're very appropriate for the magical world. So there you go. What is your favorite Harry Potter quote? Of course, it is happening inside your head, Harry. But why on earth should that mean it isn't real? And honestly, that is just such a great quote for me. I relate to it so much. As a child, and especially when I was reading these Harry Potter books, I had a really hard time relating to other people my age. I was very shy, and a lot of people took that to be standoffish or bitchy, and it was hard for me to step out of my shell and approach people and strike up a conversation. So reading that line and reading this book and knowing that just because these adventures I was reading about were happening in my head didn't mean that they weren't real to me on some level. And just, I don't know, as a book lover, that quote really meant a lot to me. So that is my favorite quote from Harry Potter. What is your Hogwarts house? And I'm trying to sit back so you can see my shirt. I'm a Slytherin all the way. Cunning and ambitious, 100%. I am all the great things about Slytherin and none of the bad. You know, humility is a great trait for me. Who is your favorite Weasley? Ginny is my favorite Weasley because, the world needs more badass female characters. I will never get tired of saying that, and Ginny is amazing. And they don't touch on her a lot, but especially in like the Half-Blood Prince, when we're talking about the Slug Club, Ginny gets brought into the Slug Club because Slughorn catches her casting a jinx on someone, and he talks about how talented she is for her age. So I think while obviously Hermione gets the most light for being this amazing, brilliant witch, Ginny is also a pretty powerful and advanced witch as well. Who's your favorite villain? I don't even know why this is a question. Voldemort, do we have to talk about it more? He is the villain. He's amazing. If you could meet one member of the cast, who would it be? And I'm cheating because I'm gonna say two. One would be Gary Oldman, who plays Sirius. I think it would be really cool to meet him. And two would be Alan Rickman. Rest in peace. He did pass away a couple of years ago, but if I could, in some miracle world, get to meet him, I would love to meet him because his body of work is astounding, and I love everything about him as an actor, and I would just love to sit and have a conversation with him about his work and about how he chooses which roles he takes and what he thought about playing Snape, and just, I would just love to chat with him. Have you ever played any of the Harry Potter video games? No, I'm not a video game person. I can't play video games. I can't even play games on my phone. They make me too anxious, and I just get very jumpy and very like, so no, I never play the video games. I wish I had the temperament to be able to play games like that, but I can't deal. So no. Were you happy with the ending of the series? Yes, overall I'm happy, but I wish I could have taken back some of the deaths throughout the series. Other than that, I think it was a beautifully written series and had a great ending. Richard Harris or Michael Gambon as Dumbledore. For those of you who don't know, we do have two Dumbledores throughout the movie series. At the very beginning, we have Richard Harris, and then later we have Michael Gambon. I would probably say Michael Gambon, just because the Dumbledore of the later books, some of the things that happen in the Order of the Phoenix and the Half-Blood Prince, and I just like those things. They needed like a really tough Dumbledore, and Richard Harris's Dumbledore was very like soft and wise and mentory, and he didn't have that sort of like hard edge that Dumbledore has to him. So I feel like Michael Gambon's portrayal is a little bit more accurate. What is your favorite Hogwarts class? If I was a student at Hogwarts, I think I would love Defense Against the Dark Arts. I just feel like it would be a really cool thing to know, especially like going into your first year as a student. I feel like there's definitely some very important information. Charms and potions are very practical, but I think that the knowledge that you would get from Defense Against the Dark Arts would be very important to have. The most useful spell, and hands down, I'm gonna have to go with Accio, because obviously if you can go like Accio water bottle and then it comes to you, or like Accio, I don't know, remote control, obviously your life would be much simpler. I'd never leave the house if I could just be like, Accio food, come to me. It would make life much simpler, just saying. If you could bring back one character, who would it be? I think if you've been paying attention to this video, you would know this. Sirius Black, hands down, would be the character that I bring back from his book Death. Hallows or Horcruxes? There can only be one choice to this question. Obviously, if you choose Horcruxes, you're a little Voldemort-y and you might need to, have yourself checked out. Hallows, 100%. I think it would be so cool to, I don't know, experience the invisibility cloak and the resurrection stone. And obviously the Elder Wand's pretty cool too. Slightly more problematic than the other two, but what can you do? I just think Hallows over Horcruxes any day. And the last question, how much does Harry Potter mean to you? Harry Potter was one of the very first book series that I read as a child. So getting through all of the books and experiencing all of those things, and really having characters that were around my same age as I was reading about them, but in this totally fantastical world, it was a unique experience, and it's something that I don't think I'll ever get again, especially when coupled with the movie releases as well. Getting to create these characters in my head and getting to know them, and then seeing what their movie portrayals would be like, and kind of getting to see if that person was my Harry or my Hermione. It was just a wonderful, magical experience, no pun intended. But aside from that, just the emotional journey that Harry is put through in all of these books, it is so heavy, and it just really does tell the story of perseverance and continuing on, even in the face of everything that you're going to struggle with in your life. And I can say without a doubt that Harry Potter got me through some pretty dark days as a teenager when I was sort of at my angstiest. And even now, I just get such nostalgia when I watch the movies or read the books. And I don't think any other series will ever be for me what Harry Potter is. I feel like that ended on a very sort of somber, like mature note, but I I loved filming this video and I hope that you enjoyed watching it. Harry Potter, again, is one of my favorite things ever, so I felt like it was about time for me to do this tag. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos from me.